Hello and welcome to another episode of Low Tech Health. I'm going to do a quick and dirty Forgive My Foul Mouth Friday because I'm going to take a risk. I'm on the hold, I'm on the line, I'm on the phone with a company to get a hotel room for my travel assignment. Going traveling. Risk is the wrap up of this week. And I got to tell you, I'm taking a big risk, but there's reward. There's a massive reward. The biggest risk I'm taking is my emotional stability leaving. So I'll be leaving some family here for 13 whole weeks. I'll miss them. I gotta leave them behind because they don't want to come. The place I'm going is getting a little weird in the country. Weirder. It's all kind of weird. So what can I say and speak to the risk that I'm taking and how it's affecting my health? Well, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but my response to anxiety is overeating and overshitting. So on this episode of Forgive My Foul Mouth Friday, I have a confession to make. I'm the reason there's a toilet paper shortage. As soon as this happened, I knew I'm going to eat everything and I'm going to shit constantly. So I bought all the toilet paper. I'm sorry. And you know the worst part? I'm already out. I'm already out of all of it. Oh, I thought that was them. Do. This seemed like a good way to pass the time during my waiting on hold. But otherwise, I'm kind of jazzed. I'm a little freaked out. I'm constantly freaking out about this decision. I don't really know how it's going to go, what's going to happen, but it's a much better pay than what I've been getting. It's like 2.5. Sorry, I just heard somebody yell, Brad. Might be part of my nervous system freaking itself out and constantly looking for threats. That's what's wonderful, and that's what I will try to relay in a health way, in a health mindset, health perspective about your nervous system. Hopefully you can hear this. This might be a little loud. So your nervous system is constantly assessing for threats. Generally, we don't have a whole lot of threats in this society. We have mental threats. We have threats to what we believe is our safety and security, when in fact it's just our comfort. Also don't want to miss it. Yeah, have you guys seen my my case? Isn't it cool? Alright, enough of that. Your body, your mind, constantly looking for threats. We have nerves that expand and are the longest cells in our bodies. They're the reason that we're able to respond on a dime and run for miles at a time. So, what happens when our nervous system goes unchecked? Things like this, jitter in your knee, all signs of general unsettledness. How do we reset it? You have to give your body a workout. Some kind of workout. If you're opposed to a physical workout, which you really ought to try what level you can, there's no real good reason to avoid physical activity. Even if you're hurt, damaged, there are still range of motion exercises that are very important to continue blood flow, because the first part of exercise vasodilates, which means it opens up the blood vessels and allows greater perfusion, which is going to make your nerves happy, because your nerves see threats, tighten down, and vasoconstrict, which makes your heart beat faster. It reduces perfusion, but it does release all your glucose reserves to hopefully get you hype. But we don't need to be hype all the time. In fact, when we're spoken to on Twitter or Facebook and have a comment thread or some sort of debate going, you really do not need your nervous system activated in those moments. You don't need to be outraged and freak out for any true threat to your body. It's not happening. You're fine. It's Facebook. It's Twitter. It's fucking web boards. Web boards. They're just web boards. Has nothing to do with big names. They're just web boards. They're sites that you went on with other people who happen to be on the same site, and you're talking to them. You may as well be anonymous, because you're not your human self. You're not. You're some strange little internet troll. How the Matrix goes, your residual self-image, which is threatening to you. It's threatening to you and your mindset if you really think about it, because you associate this internet self with your real self. So if it gets hurt, offended, tarnished, you also get hurt, offended, tarnished, which is not true. You can live without this residual self-image in the web boards. At least as propped up and as important as Facebook and Twitter have made you feel like it is. Because it's not. That's a risk to your health. That's a risk to your mind, is to associate your identity with your internet self. I've struggled with it, and I thought I should be famous. I should be rich and famous, everybody should know me. That's bullshit. You just need to get better at discussing your own voice and your own message. Get better at it. It's hard to talk to a lot of people right now because we're all in quarantine and we're afraid of each other. But this, I feel like, is a good way to try to just talk and not be interrupted. Or be interrupted. I need to start interviewing some people. It's happening. I'm freaking out. I go on waves. I just spit all over the screen. Ugh, gross. Another reason that it's nice to not be around people when you're talking enunciatively. Spreaders. I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you Moon Day.